Yeah, so on the weekend, I managed to carve out some time in between the downloads and everything else, to get into Arc Raiders. And I actually hadn't heard much about it before. I think I'd seen a picture of the marketing. And then after a quick video of watching it, I was like, yeah, I'll give this a try. So I played a couple rounds. Maybe I'll just play one of these videos while I'm chatting about it. I managed to play a couple of rounds, 3 in total. Then they sort of go in probably half an hour segments, I think they are. And it's an extraction looter game where you get thrown into a world. There's a bunch of people, other players playing, sort of doing what you're doing as well. And the environment is really dangerous. They really hit the mark they're going for. And I think that mark is tension. I can't comment on Tarkov or Rust, and I'm sure the tension is high in that too. But from the immediate plays of this, I really felt it from the first second. And this is still the intro happening. So this has been going through the menus you set up. So you set up in a world before the missions where you choose all your loadout and standard sort of network multiplayer stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're launched into the world.
So this is your first game, is it?
I think this is the second one.
Second game.
My first one was a bit I was a very cautious player. Might not be that great to watch. But I was really impressed with the first introduction to the world, and that sort of posed as a single little 15-minute sort of playthrough thing, which I have some videos and I'll show you after we discuss. But each important element of the game is presented to you in a way that you're not really aware that you're learning, which is the typical, show don't tell design principle. But they just hit it really well and gave you the basic foundations for you then to be thrown directly into this world, which is the one which was open for the weekend play. What was it? Something Dust Wasteland or something. And then you're given all the tools needed and you're straight in. And the big enemy are these machines, which they track you by sound mostly. Well, sight and sound, but I noticed that is a big part of the gameplay, is you think about how you move around, the noise you're making, the gear you're carrying. Because a couple of times I would be opening a container or something which would alert the presence of other people or other things around me. And immediately the world becomes from this quiet sneaking around and looting things into this really high danger, high intensity, run for your life or fight your way out kind of situation. But it's been a really fun, it was a fun, great little playthrough. And I did get some notes just here about the game loop itself, which is kind of what I've been describing. Is you start in your home base, which is all the menus, you upgrade your gear, you manage your loadout, you pick your quests, and you select your zone. And then once you go into the zone, the loop sort of it's timer based. So you get your timer, you've got to explore, survey, find loot, gain XP, avoid detection or avoid/engage enemies or other players. And then once your time is up, you find extraction point. From this playtest, I'm pretty sure there's going to be more to the missions, but it was very much just find X amount of items, which I had a lot of fun doing. And now you're seeing me struggling with these little these little mech enemies flying around. So really solid and simple little game loop, I noticed. But I think that their biggest winning point was the tension, which is the hostile world, which is being garnered from the intimidating enemies, your lack of ammo and resources. And when you get caught alone, I managed to survive that one just there, but I did die quite a lot when I was, overwhelmed by 3 or 4 more enemies. You really got to keep sort of that stealth sort of side happening. And then layered on top of that to build the tension, I noticed is that everything takes time. So you can actually see here the items, which I think you said is a feature from Tarkov too, Chris.
Absolutely.
When you open a container, it takes time to find things. It then takes time to use that item to heal yourself or something like that. It all happens in real time in the multiplayer environment. So you've got to think about where you're taking cover to open containers, use items, or anything. So the whole time I was playing, I felt really. This is a PvP encounter actually. So I saw someone there and they just took a headshot at me.
Headshot.
Yeah, they almost got me, and I freaked out. I didn't know what to do. But then that drew sounds of robots to go attack him, and then I was like, "Oh, this is my chance!" And then I sprinted out of there. So it was a great little dynamic event, which now I'm suffering the consequences of the robots as well. But shooting at each other draws the attention of the world around you, which I thought was really great sort of layer there.
That's really interesting. So I mean, I'm just sort of thinking about sort of the different aspects. So the one being, and the one I have to admit, I'm not a fan, but I can sort of see, that when you open something up and it slowly reveals itself, like, my God, what a frustrating pain in the ass mechanic. I mean,
I know, right? But it's
particularly when you're under pressure, aren't you? So you're under a lot of pressure, and you also, the main thing is to get loot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually need to go and find that loot. But to get that loot, you need to spend time actually searching in a really hostile environment. That's a really good way to sort of add investment and then put you in a dangerous position to get that in to get what you need to get. So
exactly, and I think I was searching for wire this whole time, and I never found it. I did die, but I was just searching for a simple item, but
why did you need wire? Was this one of the things you needed to get for?
It was just a scavenging task. I had to find.
Oh, it's just a task.
So every time I open this up, it's like, oh, no wire. Oh, ammo. No, what's this? Oh, still no wire.
So it's I mean, that it's kind of interesting. That's like, if you're familiar with the in film, the McGuffin, that idea of the McGuffin. Have you guys come across that?
No, what's the McGuffin?
So a McGuffin it was Alfred Hitchcock, I think, coined the term, and it's the thing that everyone is after. So like the Maltese Falcon, for instance, one of his famous movies, The Maltese Falcon. The McGuffin is the Maltese Falcon. That's what everyone is after.
Okay.
So it's kind of like you've added, because it's who gives a shit about getting some sort of virtual piece of wire? Who gives a crap? But it's kind of the same idea. It's like, okay, you need to get this to progress. So the McGuffin in that respect is the piece of wire or whatever it happens to be to get to the next stage. So I was wondering whether, because the way we often do that is, you need this piece of thing to craft, maybe a fuse that you need to put into a fuse box so you can open a door. That's kind of one of the classics.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
No, well, the MacGuffin of this was, as irrelevant as it was, it really drove me forward. And there's some notable events which I have noted, which is just about to come up. I'll skip through them a little bit. So about 9:50, there was something that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is to do with their level layout design, like the environments as a hazard as well. So there's enemies scattered around in areas for you to try and get through. And as you can see, the hallway's covered. But they've also designed, the buildings that you can climb out and actually find alternate ways around. So there's nice thought of traveling through the world, safely and dangerously, or fast versus slow, depending on your time you have left or something there. So let me cool when I found that.
Let me throw a question at you guys, like, because you look at this and I'm thinking, okay, so you can say this is well designed, and we look at a lot of levels, a lot of games. You can say, yeah, the level design was great. But the question I have, so we have disciplines like architecture and landscape architecture and urban design, urban architecture.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering, so in the games industry, do we have any of this stuff where there's kind of like a method or a formula or to creating good game design like this? Is there anything like that, or is it just like ad hoc?
I can't say I've come across anything like concrete. It's always been a feeling for me if I like look at an area and then you think of what players are doing or so much. I very much feeling. I go, it'll be nice to do this, and it'll take a couple of iterations to think of everything. But in the case of that hallway, giving a second option to sort of pass through unscathed is a good design decision, whether they intended it or not, or whether it was just a part of the model of the building.
I mean, that is a principle of kind of game design that we do talk about, is that having multiple paths.
Yeah,
one which
different
might
styles,
be
different paths.
Yeah, and one of them also might be easier, and the other one involves more danger. And you
Yeah,
basically you get higher the risk, the higher the reward.
yeah, and in
along
this
those
case, the reward is once you defeat the enemies, which are dangerous, you can
Yeah.
scavenge them, and they most likely have parts that you need on them, or high value parts that you trade back at the base.
Oh, so these are the little drone things that are attacking you.
Yeah, so there's a couple. There's like mounted turrets. There's drones that go along the ground. There's flying drones. There was a survey drone that actually got me quite a lot, and that would call in different ones. So, and then I found destroying the little ones didn't give you much, but if you managed to take out a bigger one, they would have some pretty good loot on them. So, basic design, principle there, but it is in place. And I'll skip through to my
really
final
capitalized.
Sorry, continue.
They've capitalized quite a bit on space. It reminds me a lot of like the PvP and PvE levels in Destiny. Because I think they do these sorts of online experiences do sort of follow a formulaic approach to level design, where you have sort of the POIs, which it sort of narrows the experience, and then once you've finished with that, it's sort of straight back into the wide open world where, it's sort of a bit unclear on where you go.
What to do, yeah. And I think they handled this quite well in this, because it lends so much to the environment and the environment's atmosphere, that you are a scavenger. You've seen those movies. Like, I think the top of my head is the new Star Wars movies with the girl at the very start. She's out scavenging in these giant structures. Like, you feel like that. You feel like you're lost, walking around alone, looking for something until you're not alone. So whether that falls into like good design or like in the part of gameplay, in the sense of gameplay, or just like world design, is up to the beholder. And actually,
I guess
keep
the question
watching this now. This is pretty much where this run ends.
Oh,
which is my closest experience with another player is I was looking at my map and got shot in the head.
So even looking at the map,
so I guess what
tension.
What sort of feelings did you have when you were playing?
I was very tense the whole time. I was very engaged and tense, because just as you saw, you can't pause, you can't do anything, and you don't know what's around the next corner, and you're trying to get your things. Oh, this is me giving feedback. I loved my last round, but my PvP encounters, not so much. But no, I felt really engaged and pretty much
I love the atmosphere and those weather effects look fantastic.
Yeah. So this one, I just want to set up the context. If this is the start of the game, I just took a few screen records of different aspects of when you're sort of being taught something. So we saw the game playing before, and we didn't actually see me get to the end because I died in that one. But the way you exit levels is going into a vault to go down back into the safe zone. But throughout the intro zone, you're shown a bunch of things. So like, first thing, you're introduced to this giant creature, There's danger and enemy mechs lurking around, and then immediately you're then shot at, and you can see me struggling with the controls. I couldn't figure out if crouch was toggleable or not, and it wasn't toggleable.
So is this? Are there bots like
yeah? So these are bots
players?
right now.
So this is no. I mean,
This
so in Tarkov, like there are other players, but there are also what do they call them? Scavs, which I think
Scavs.
are not actually players. They are some sort of AI controlled player.
Well, I didn't come across any in the server slam that they did, but maybe it will be a part of it. This, for the sense of the intro, was, and I'll just rewind it to this point. So this guy shoots at you,
Yeah,
and you try and figure out, you fight back and whatnot, but then immediately he shoots up a flare for some reason, but which attracts in a drone, which kills him. So that immediately tells me, oh god, making noise can, attract a drone to kill me.
Oh,
so
okay.
I thought that was a nice little touch, just to it's not thrown in your face, but it's like there is danger for causing a ruckus.
You take half your health as well.
Did take half my health, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is Scav Danger, as I've titled the thing, other players. So this is pretty much a couple of seconds later, is you get in and then you just get taken out.
Yeah. Other players are the most brutal.
They are, yeah. But it's shown in this little cutscene here where they come and take your stuff, and then afterwards you get up again because, who doesn't die from getting shot? Who does die, sorry. And then you continue on your way without your gear. So another unheavy-handed way of just being like, watch your back.
So hang on, what are we seeing here? This is actual play?
Yeah, this is me playing through the intro.
Oh, this is the sort of tutorial.
This is the tutorial level, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then again, along the way, there's the standard stuff and items to loot and pick up, which again show you the time-based mechanics of, using items and opening up containers and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so just to get you a bit familiar with it. And then the final one is how you exit levels, which I didn't realize was happening at the time. But you have this sequence where you got to call an elevator, and it starts blaring all this noise, and you're like, oh god, why are you doing that? And they very lightly just bring one enemy, or maybe there's more, but I managed to evade them a bit. But it immediately gave me that sense of like, noise is danger. Be careful at these exit zones. A racket's going to be caused.
Yeah.
Try and stay safe.
So stealth is definitely a big part of the.
I reckon. I think though, once you get in parties of, I don't know how many people you're supposed to be playing with, but you would be able to do some serious damage because there's some pretty large enemies. If I'll quickly go back and scrub and show you just some of the ones I saw in video 1. Just around here. I started hearing this noise and something on the left there climbs up.
Ooh.
So I imagine that would kill me instantly, but if you had a party of people, you probably have some strategy to take that on. So there's a lot more depth to the battling at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And video 3, it might have been.
That's cool.
No, I won't waste time just going through here. But there was another one, probably about 3 times as big as that other one that we just saw, which I stayed very far away from. I should have ran up for it for just the sake of seeing what would happen. But
yeah, I sometimes do that in games. Like, what happens if I do this? I die.
Yeah.
So what about the selecting? What about the selecting of weapons and stuff? Did you have to like select your loadout when you start? Do you have any? Do you have any
so at the start,
vision
I think
of
in
that?
video 1 I started recording. you
Yeah.
choose your missions here.
Yep.
Choose your area. That's that one. And then you get, you get given your loadout. So you have on the left there your things that you have in your stash, and then you just like drag over what you want to bring in. So you can plan ahead, and the stuff that you bring back can then be utilized to go out again.
And you've got a safe pocket there, I see.
Yeah, so when you're knocked out, you can save one item, which I think it might have been
one item.
Yeah, I put a pair of binoculars in there for my next run, but I died and then it disappeared. So
so the safe pocket wasn't so safe.
It wasn't so safe.
Dang.
Yeah. But no, yeah, that was my experience of Arc Raiders. Is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I never played the other one the studio did, which was the finals.
The finals. You mentioned that. I mean.